you open that gift that you're not alone. Somebody gets me. So, yeah, there is some beauty and magic to the right gift. Not necessarily the most expensive gift. Could be something you make yourself. Oftentimes it is something you make yourself. But yeah, as much as you're going to hear me rail on Christmas for the next 21 days, I do honestly believe that. So hopefully you can find it in your heart to find just the right thing that wraps up with a nice little bow the feelings you have for someone else. It's a tall order, and you're not always going to get it right as the years wear on. But the times you do, yeah, those are pretty sweet. Anyways, there being a huge upturn in the holiday shopping season, there is also a huge upturn in the holiday shoplifting season. I actually had a store for a little while, and we called it Christmas shoplifting. See these people coming in, purposely wandering around the store for a little while, then asking for something that they knew you didn't carry, and then asking if you could get it. Anything they could do to make you turn your back and go to the back and look something up on a computer so they could grab something and run out of the store. 'Tis the freaking season. But I never figured there'd be such a high bounty on human hair. It's unbelievable. Cops say professional hair thieves are hitting up beauty supply stores and stealing weaves. There's like hair stealing gangs. Oh, God, a whole bunch of weaves were stolen overnight this past week just gone by. Cops say it's another case of thieves going after high-priced hair. Funkhauser, do you have any idea how much a hair weave costs?
It has to be over 50, probably more than that.
Yeah,
depends
I don't know.
on how stylish you want.
I guess it's pretty pricey. I would imagine if you're like a beauty salon and you're selling hair, like if you're doing weaves, a big part of the business has got to be, it's got to be not the actual weaving of it into the scalp or whatever the hell it is they do in those situations. The cost of the actual hair has to be where the price tag starts. Anyways, it all happened around 3 a.m. this morning. 4 men went inside the Beauty Empire store. This is in Houston, Texas. Investigators say that the thieves targeted the most expensive human hair they could find. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing? Human hair. You find one of those in your meal and you're not paying for it. But if you get a whole bunch of them all at once, you can make a huge, huge profit. Ironic, really. When I hear about people stealing human hair, like, oh, someone else's hair? That's disgusting. I'd totally be sending my salad back if I found that in it. Yet you get enough of it together and man, it's good times, financially speaking. The suspects scooped it all, ran the hell out. Cops say this is happening all over the country because human hair is really expensive. It costs thousands of dollars. Thousands. The store owner said it's a big loss for her family. The suspects also took off with the cash register and a small amount of cash inside. The cops are reviewing surveillance video looking for clues. Maybe they were stealing hair in honor of Michael Brown, in which case it's totally justifiable, I'm sure. So, you know who's really nervous about drug legalization and legal pot? That would be the DEA. Yeah. If drug crime goes down, then they don't get their toys and they don't get their big budgets. And apparently, I'm no Alex Jones-style conspiracy theorist, but this holds a little water for me. Apparently, the DEA is really worried about the fact that legalizing marijuana in the U.S. is crippling Mexican cartels. You would have thought, hey, it's a DEA. They would want to cripple Mexican cartels. Oh, really? You remove the Mexican cartels, you make them less of a problem, and guess what the DEA doesn't get? All the autonomy they have, all the enormous budgets that they have, the fun toys and gadgets and cars that they have. Their lifestyle, being a DEA agent is kind of a hotshot thing. And it's about to become significantly less of a hotshot thing. So in a weird twist of fate, it would seem that they have an interest in keeping marijuana illegal so the cartels have a business. How does it all unfold? Well, that's an interesting one.
iHeartRadio shines the spotlight on Van Halen.
In 1981, Fair Warning was not a huge success, but its follow-up, Diver Down, was a huge hit, spawning a number 12 cover of Roy Orbison's Oh Pretty Woman. While all of their previous albums were successful, Van Halen didn't become superstars until 1984, when their album, 1984, became an across-the-board smash. Released on New Year's Day, 1984 rocketed to number 2 on the strength of the number 1 single, Jump. Like many songs on the album, Jump was driven by Eddie's new synthesizer, and while Roth was initially reluctant to use electronics, the expansion of the group's sound was widely praised.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Van Halen and all your favorite artists. iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Jimmy Page to talk about when he first became a studio session musician.
I think I was about 16 the first session that I did. That wasn't, that wasn't repetitive. It was at the point when maybe I was 17, 18, that I became sort of a trusted friend within the recording industry, where I was being asked to do sessions day after day after day. And I did sessions with the Kinks, the Who, Can't Explain, the Rolling Stones. Not the Beatles.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Jimmy Page and all your favorite artists.
Delivering fascinating subjects, interesting talk, and boobs and fart jokes. AD on iHeartRadio.
Yeah. Oh, let's go. Talking that mess, better act like you know. Oh, let's go tonight. Walk away, punk, yeah, bitch. That's right, I know this. You're nothing but a punk, bitch. You're nothing but a punk, bitch. So walk away, yeah.
Iran is in the news. Iran may have launched airstrikes against ISIS. Iran may have attacked ISIS. Yeah. Do you know how long it's been since I've been able to wear my Go Iran t-shirt?
Well played, Conan. Well played. Do you still like Conan ever since he moved over to TBS? Do you watch Conan Funkhauser?
Yeah, I've been twice. I'm going to go again next month.
Oh, I want to go to a taping of Conan so bad. I love Conan and I love what he does, and I definitely Team Coco with regard to talk show hosts. Although, really, no one's bad. Like, it used to be easy to like Conan because, well, look at his competition. Like, Letterman I really liked. Leno, and just not my bag. And you kind of feel like Conan's speaking to you. But, between Conan and Kimmel and Fallon, like, I kind of like all of them. And the one thing that kind of... what's really weird? I drank heavily. Like, a lot of people know this about me that listen to the show. I'm straight edge. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't take drugs. I don't believe in casual sex. I don't do a lot of things that a lot of people consider to be a lot of fun. However, I made that decision based on, well, it was an educated decision. Put it to you that way. I drank heavily from the ages of about 13 to 18. And it wasn't like I had a drinking problem. I didn't like it very much, though. I mean, although a lot of people would argue that any 13-year-old that drinks regularly has a drinking problem. Let's not let that. But I didn't have a problem quitting, is the thing. The main reason I quit drinking, I remember going to get all this booze at a liquor store that I've been going to for the last couple of years to celebrate my 18th birthday. And I walked in and I basically got everything under the sun for my party. And they're like, oh, what's this in honor of? I was like, my 18th birthday. And they knew I'd been coming in there for the last couple of years. And they were just like, oh, because in England, it's not that big a deal. They don't card you. I've been the same height now. Like, I'm the same height now as I was when I was 13 years old. I remember drinking in a bar in England once when I was 15, and I was a drunk 15-year-old, so I kind of forgot when they came up to me and said, hey, you look a little young. How old are you? And being the drunk 15-year-old, I was like, 17? And they're like, hey, the drinking age is 18. So you finish that one and then no more for you. Like, that's how they treat underage drinking where I grew up. So it wasn't that big a deal. But a big part of the reason why I quit drinking was because it became legal. It no longer represented any form of rebellion. Like, when you're a kid and you're getting drunk, you're like, ooh, this is fun and different. And I'm, expressing my individuality. And when it becomes legal and you just see a bunch of people being sad and drunk all the time, you're just like, oh, that's not cool anymore. That's just, that looks like a crutch that unhappy and unfulfilled people use to get through life. So giving up drinking wasn't that hard, because the main attraction to it was not the being drunk part. Believe it or not, it wasn't the copious amounts of teenage vomiting on public transportation. That part of it wasn't all that much fun. No, what was fun about it was the rebellion involved in it. And as much as I love Conan, ever since he's moved over to TBS, basic cable, where you can swear on it, there's really way less restrictions. Like, the one thing I used to love about Conan being on network television was the fact that he just walked right up to the line of what you could or could not do every single night on the air. And he did it in such a subtle, sneaky, kind of roundabout way that I was just like, God, it is brilliant what Conan does. It is brilliant to watch him take on the FCC in such a kind of clever, insidious, snide way. And that was my favorite thing about watching Conan. He just walked up to that line every single night. And now there is no real line. It's kind of blurry, and you get and I think that's what I miss about Conan on network TV. It's not like he's any less of a creative behemoth. It's not like he's any less awesome. It's just the element of danger is kind of gone because he doesn't have the man breathing down his back. It makes things interesting when you have something you're pushing against, doesn't it? People root for you when you're pushing against something. In much the same way that the DEA have been white knights, heroes for the longest time because they're pushing against the Mexican cartels. And now legal pot in the U.S. is crippling Mexican cartels. And you know who's not cool with it? The DEA. See, marijuana has accounted for nearly half of all total drug arrests in the U.S. for the past 20 years. Half of them. You start taking that away, and people go, what the hell are you really doing around here? This is the number of arrests you made for the past 20 years, and it's down significantly. What are you guys doing what are you guys doing at the moment? Anyways, according to the FBI's crime statistics and according to the Department of Justice, a large portion of the U.S. illegal drug market is controlled directly by Mexican cartels. I don't think that's new news to anybody, but the Department of Justice's National Drug Intelligence Center, which has been shut down, found in 2011 that the top cartels control the majority of drug trade in marijuana, heroin, and methamphetamine in over 1,000 U.S. cities. Now, those cartels and their farmers are complaining that marijuana legalization is hurting their business. And a bunch of reports suggest that the Drug Enforcement Agency, DEA, more interested in helping to protect the Mexican cartels and their hold on the pot trade, and they're more interested in doing that than letting it dissipate. So, pot farmers in the, I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation of this, but pot farmers in the Sinaloa region, they've stopped planting. They've stopped planting due to a massive drop in wholesale pot prices. Used to be able to get $100 a kilo. Now, $25. One pot farmer in Mexico is saying it's not worth it anymore. I wish the Americans would stop with this legalization. And you know what? In California, marijuana, single biggest cash crop. California, huge state for agriculture. Marijuana, single biggest cash crop. Now, the DEA needs something to push against. The DEA needs something to help them be the white knights of America. The DEA needs something to justify their existence and help them get their huge budgets and to help them get all their fun toys. So the DEA is worried about this. So like, hold on, you're taking away half of our arrests by legalizing marijuana, and our budget's going to get cut. And, hold on a second. These Mexican cartels kind of give us an identity. They give us everything that we've got.